about why I started the business, the beginnings, the lessons I've learned, how the business has grown, the body line, challenges, all the things. So stick around for this video. You're not going to miss it. Also, let me know in the comments below. I've been really enjoying, as a consumer, watching small business friends vlog their everyday events. And let me know if you want me to start back doing that. I did start doing that in the past. I would love to start doing it again if there is a want. But let me know in the comments below. Please engage with me so I know what type of content you guys like. I have been dropping a lot of shorts of me making products, so forth and on. You guys probably know by now I've been making a lot of fall products, things like that. So let's get into it in this video. So I have like a little guide that I want to follow. So I want to thank everybody for joining, subscribing to this group. It means a lot. And I'm very, very grateful for each and every one of you guys. I think we're up to like 550. I'm very grateful for that. As you know, we're celebrating 5 years of All Things Mental Health by Ashley. And I really want to take some time to kind of reflect because it's such a blessing to be 4 years. Some businesses don't even make it that long. And I'm very grateful for that. So why I started this business, I started this business back in 2022 because I have a passion for mental health and self-care. I have a desire to make therapy feel safe, approachable, and try to destigmatize all of the stigmas in mental health. So a short little clip of or summary of how I got this business started, All Things Mental Health by Ashley. In August 2022, I was sleeping just another day. I was probably working in the school system at the time, doing mental health with the kiddos. And I woke up from a dream. The dream was very, very vivid. It was of me having a business called All Things Mental Health by Ashley. And it was a self-care business. That's all I saw. And shortly after that, actually that day, I went out and at that time, I was purchasing self-care products from Dollar Tree and I was putting it into baskets and boxes and selling them as that. That was in August of 2022. In September of 2022, I started my first vendor event and I sold my first self-care box or basket. I was doing self-care for dogs, self-care for humans, all types of themed baskets and all the things. And probably a couple of months, probably in November of 2022, I decided I wanted to start making my own products. A customer had recommended, hey, why don't you start making your own? And ever since then, here we are. I've been making my own products and have expanded to where we are now. So I like to think that God blessed me with that dream of this brand and specifically wanted me to call it All Things Mental Health by Ashley because he knew that I was going to grow into what I am today. Along the way, I have learned a lot. I have branched out and started my own independent contractor counseling business, Counseling by Ashley. I added that in 2025. Now we're getting ready in September of 2026, as well as celebrating the 4-year anniversary. We're getting ready to launch Petals, and Bubbles, which is my crochet flower bar. I learned a lot in these 4 years. Growth takes time, whether it's here on YouTube or growing my small business. Every setback I can look at has taught me something. It's okay to pivot and try new ideas. I've done plenty of that. And celebrating the small wins. I remember when I first started my business in 2022, I made $100 at a vendor event. And now I'm up to $800 a vendor event. So definitely along that way, of course, it was 200, 300, 400. I was really excited. I was celebrating 400. Now we're at a milestone of 800 in a day. So really, really grateful. I remember not getting going a year without any online sales, and now I get online sales throughout the week. I remember doing vendor events and nobody knew who I was, and now it's not a vendor event that I go to where somebody hasn't either watched my YouTube video, hasn't seen me post on Facebook or in the private group, or has not seen or heard of me from their friends, family members, seen me at events, seen vendor events promote my products for an upcoming event. They have seen me somewhere. And that is great to be noticed and seen by the community in which I am surrounded by. Um, how the business has grown. Like I said, I've expanded to counseling. I was already in counseling, obviously in 2022 when I was in the school system. I was not licensed, which means I was not working independently. I was working um, under somebody else's license at the time. And mind you, I never wanted to be an independent anything. I never wanted to own my own business. I always wanted to work for somebody else. And that kind of comes from my own childhood of having parents that were, I think you would call them baby boomers, who grew up where you work the same job for 50 years and then you retire and that's just what it is. And seeing that and growing up with that kind of, made me have that mindset. And then so definitely branching out and doing my own, running my own businesses was never a dream of mine, never even a thought, besides the fact that I never wanted to do it. And here I am, independent contractor, having counseling by Ashley. I never wanted to work with kids, did not want to do it, never. And here I am, solely pretty much working. My counseling by Ashley is probably 99% kids and teenagers and probably 1% adults. And, you know, the website has grown as you've maybe have checked it out, maybe you haven't, but I have scaled up the website from when I first got started in 2022 to now. In 2022, I didn't have a website. That came along the way. Um, and being able to share my passion of self-care and mental health through my YouTube channel, that came also along this 4-year journey. So some of you guys have been with me these entire 4 years. As I have pivoted and changed how I format this YouTube and really kind of getting back to the core of why I started this YouTube on not really caring about likes and views. And how many I get, but more about the consistent growth and making sure that I'm staying true to myself and putting out the product on this content, on this platform that I enjoy doing and I can look back and be proud of. And that you guys obviously continue to stick around and like as well. So I've been doing the Bath and Body. I just did a rebrand in 2026 where I have made All Things Mental Health by Ashley the parent company, and then I have these businesses underneath. So Counseling by Ashley, Bubbles by Ashley, which is now the Bath and Body business, and then also Petals and Bubbles, which is just a play on words, but it's the crochet flower bouquet bar that I am launching in September. Some favorite memories over the 4 years. I have many of them. I have my first fair order when I used to do fair. I was so excited for that order. My first vendor event, I'll never forget that in my hometown back in September 2022. Hallmark moment for me and very nostalgic. I even remember my first customer from my hometown. Um, Meeting customer at vendor events have been a joy. I've had some really great customers that have followed me from vendor event to vendor event. And if you guys know, I do numerous vendor events over Southern Virginia, from Ashland, Virginia to South Hill, Virginia to Farmville, Virginia, Cambridge, Virginia. I've done Boyton, Virginia, Clarksville, Virginia, um, I've done South Boston, Virginia, um, Richmond, Virginia, Amelia, Dinwiddie, Petersburg. I've done a lot in the Southern Virginia area. And some of these um, customers have followed me from event to event, and I'm super grateful for that. Um, Building these relationships have been everything. Networking with other vendors have been everything. They've given me tips and tricks, and they never gate kept. They always put me on to this event or that event to where now I'm in my business. And I have people reaching out to me saying, "Hey, will you do this event? Will you join this event? We think your products would be good in our event." And I remember when I first started, I was having this research and Google events. Now people are inviting me to them. And I just feel like I've definitely made my stamp in my little Southern community, which is all I ever wanted. I never wanted to be global. Anytime I get a sale from out of the state, I feel grateful, because as of right now, I don't do any out of state events. But word of mouth, people traveling to these events have I've put them on. So when they go back home, now they reorder and things like that, and spread the word. And I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, I'm just really excited. And this brand has become bigger than I could have ever imagined, actually. Um, but yeah, challenges. Oh my gosh, we can talk all day about this, but I'm gonna keep it brief. The challenges that I've learned along the way, entrepreneurship is difficult. I'm learning this as I've taken on full time running this brand of all things mental health by Ashley. I kind of got a little taste of it last year when I had to pay taxes, and the year before that when I had to pay taxes just on the soap brand. Now we have the counseling brand, the soap brand, the upcoming flower bar brand, and over 90% of my income is entrepreneur. Um Over, yeah. So that's crazy to think of, but so that means a lot of my salary or income I have to pay self-care. I'm not self-care. I have to pay self-employment taxes on. And so this year in 2026, I am bringing on board a accountant who will be helping me. If you want to know, I know there's some therapists who watch me. If you want to know who I'm going with, I'll let you guys know. I don't gatekeep. But I'm going to try them out as my accountant, to make sure that everything with the IRS is good and great, because, as I've expanded this business and this brand, I'm making more money. Counseling is bringing in a lot of money. Next year will be my first full year. And I'll tell you about my goals, I think, then, but we're going to get there. The money is going to increase when I actually have a full year of running all three businesses. Um, Especially for what I have planned for 2027. Not going to miss. And I'm definitely going to try to vlog every single event, because it's going to be one for the records for sure. 2027 is. But building those relationships in the community have been everything. I recently partnered with a wedding venue, with some other partnerships with wedding venues in the making, but I have partnered with one wedding venue to be able to supply my self care boxes to the brides. They're going to put my self care boxes as a part of their wedding packages. So I'm branching out and doing partnerships, which I'm grateful for, and I'm grateful for the community to be so receptive to it. Back to the challenges. Time management hasn't really necessarily been a big issue. I am learning now to juggle when to make the self-care products. Ordering these, doing it all as a one-man show is challenging. But that's why I'm looking towards bringing on. I'm grateful for AI helping me with website design and upscaling my website. And Shopify has just added AI to their platform. So doing that has been really, really helpful. Adding the accountant has been super helpful. Um, but obviously, I didn't have that back in 2022, 2023, or 2024. So I had to really do a lot of research, connecting with people, networking, and things like that to kind of figure out the logistics of everything. The social media and how to find events and all the things. Lot of networking. When you do these vendor events, I would suggest you definitely talk to your peers there. Um, Ask them, hey, what events do you have coming up? Or start a conversation with them, whatever it is. And then also did do like a little section of a video. It's underneath it's Rise Sova. They're Virginia. I'm assuming they're Virginia based, like coalition type, where they talk help small business owners, things like that. I joined their group early on in my business when I barely knew anything, and they gave me a lot of tips and tricks to kind of help. And I recorded that whole journey as well on my YouTube channel. Gratitude. I'm very thankful for all of my clients for the counseling business, all of my customers, all of my partners that trusted me. I've had a lot of family support and helping me, get a tent and help give me, bags and all the things that are useful to running a business. My mom also worked with my mom, and she helps me with the lavender neck wraps and eye pillows. And so you learn along the way that you can't do everything by yourself. You're going to need to outsource and have some help, especially when you're navigating early on a W 2 job and trying to run a small business on the side as a hobby, then turning that hobby into a small business, and then turning that business into the main business, and the growth and evolution. But I wouldn't change it any other way. Everybody who shared my post, liked my post on Facebook and on YouTube, you guys help spread self-care through mental health to others, which I'm very grateful for, and that's what I love to do. I'm going to I'm going to continue to grow my counseling business. I'm going to continue to partner with the person I partner with, the company I'm partnered with as an independent contractor. I'm going to continue to expand the Bath and Body line. I have two products that I've been itching to get out. I probably won't be in 2026, but definitely 2027. Deodorant bars and conditioner bars. I've already do shampoo bars, but I really want to get into conditioner bars and have like a combo type of thing where you get a conditioner bar and a shampoo bar together. And I've had a lot of customers ask me about deodorant. People are really into handmade, homemade, handcrafted deodorant. So I really want to get into that. And I'm really excited to introduce Petals and Bubbles to Southern Virginia. I have never seen so far, and I've done so many vendor events, I have yet to see a crochet bouquet bar. And so I'm excited to be able to bring my love of flowers, which has been throughout my brand ever since I started, um, in a forever way, because a lot of people don't like flowers because they die and it's this thing. And so I get to provide forever flowers through Petals and Bubbles to Southern Virginia. Uh, Attending more events, that's an understatement. I'm getting ready to go back to 2023 Ashley, where she was doing wild events. Not wild in the sense of like wild, but like really going out of my comfort zone and doing vendor events that I would not have thought about otherwise. I'm definitely going to be coming to North Carolina. So if you know anybody in the North Carolina area, Durham, Charlotte, make sure to share this video with them because I'm coming. In 2027, I have 4 or 5 events that are on my radar that I am going to try my hardest to get into in 2027. And I'm just going to try to scale up. I'm going to continue to partner with wedding venues in Southern Virginia. I'm going to continue to make partnerships and grow this brand. I'm going to continue to spread the word of prioritizing mental health and self-care because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And as we close out this video, I'm really excited for what's to come in 2027, as well as what's going to finish out 2026 strong with my fall and winter collection. 4 years has flown by. When you do what you love, it doesn't seem like work, and it really doesn't feel like work to me. It's a dream come true. I know I made a video probably a couple of years ago, about being fed up with W-2 life, being fed up, and I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to run my business full time, and that's just what it is. And look at God. I'm here. Took a couple of years, took a couple of losses and all the things, but I'm here. 90% of my income is entrepreneurship, and here we are. So really grateful. Keep showing up. Keep believing in yourself. Thank you for being a part of my journey. It's just getting started. And check out my website. Let me know what you guys think as far as what I've done to kind of upscale it. Subscribe to this channel. Follow along for what's next, you guys.